Okay, so for the last part, we are going to use brushing and filtering for our plots. In this section, what we are going to do is to concat maybe two plots next to each other, one next to the other, and then adding a selection to one and use that selection as a filter for the other. This way, I can select in one graph and then in the other graph, the selection would be like, we can change the color based on what we had before in the second graph. So let's begin. Let's write it from the scratch. Vega-Lite and okay. So I'm gonna use my data as values. This data. Then I'm gonna concatenate two different plots together. So h concat. And for this, I'm going to use square brackets, enter, and the first part, comma, the second part. Okay. For the first part, I'm gonna define a selection, and this selection is going to be so the type of brush I want, the name of the selection, let's call it brush, and then we define the type as we learned before. So the type would be the type would be interval. And then defining other properties, including mark. Type of the mark, I want to have the point. Oh. And then the field value will be, I want the points to be filled, so I'm going to set it true. And let's do the encoding. So what I want to plot is, what I want to plot is x as temperature mean. No, x is precipitation. So the x value, the field. Okay. And the type would be quantitative. And the y-axis the field is maybe temperature mean. And type can be quant. And let's set the color. So for the color, I'm going to use the weather field. This is my first plot, and let's define the second plot. So In the second plot, as I said, I'm going to use that selection as a filter, and we were defining a filter using transform. Define filter using transform, so we have a square bracket and then we specify the filter we want to use. Filter, and in the selection area we are going to select based on brush we have here, what we defined here, and okay. Then I'm gonna set my mark. Let's copy and paste from here. Okay, the mark is gonna be point again. Maybe this time the field is temperature max, and I'm going to use the scale. Find the scale for that values. So we were specifying this range with that slider previously. So with this slider we were defining the range, but this time we need to specify the scale ourselves. And maybe instead of temperature mean, we set wind, and then okay, and finally we define the color. So the color is going to be the same. Okay. Oh, we have a syntax error here again. Let me find, and here we go. It was a bracket problem again. So this way, when we select each part in the first graph, in the first view, the corresponding values in the second one will be selected. And then again we can specify, like we can define another brushing with highlight. So instead of set the condition as a filter, so like showing and not showing them, we can just select and highlight or change the color based on that condition as we had before. So let's try that one too. Okay, so this time instead of setting a filter for the second graph, we can remove this filter part and then change the color based on that. So we can add the condition here as we had it before. So condition and the use of selection as brush. I'm going to use brush selection, the one I defined here again, and then this is what I want to happen if the condition was true. Otherwise, I want the value to be gray. Okay, we have Mr. Pantosphere, and there you are. So when I select a set of data, instead of selecting and showing and not showing them, it just change the color. And then you know that we can use like repeating and layering and all these functions nested to each other. So instead of like not only can we have horizontal concatenation, and also we can have repeat, and that way by mixing these methods we can make much better visualizations. Okay, so this was the last part of today's workshop. We worked on brushing and filtering for the last section, last section, and we learned how to select one graph and then apply changes to the other. Okay,